Ready? Begin. Mr. Chairman, sir, I am grateful to you for giving me this opportunity to speak on the policy note on public health and medical which has been placed by the Honorable Minister on the table of this House. Sir, the ruling party has always been finding fault with us for not complimenting the government on doing some good things. So, in the first place, I wanted to pay my compliments to the Honorable Minister on certain welcome decisions he has taken since he became Minister. The first decision that he has taken relates to increasing the bed strength in all our district headquarters hospitals. In the second place, he has sanctioned generators for many hospitals. Thirdly, it is good that he has arranged for provision of air-conditioned operation theatres in many of our district hospitals. Having said this, I shall refer to certain areas where some relief is necessary. The first thing I want to refer is mobile medical service. When we provide mobile medical service, the first object is to see that the medical unit is mobile. The Honorable Minister has got at the disposal of his department a large number of vehicles for this purpose. But if we look into the average age of these vehicles, I think we will find that most of them are not in good working condition. As a matter of fact, most of these vehicles are not at all mobile. At the same time, I would like to point out that the cost of this department is increasing as these vehicles are retained. We know that we blame doctors because they are not going to rural areas to render medical services. But we must remember that unless the government are able to replace the fleet as early as possible, it may not be possible for medical relief to reach the rural areas. The reason why I mention this is this. We have now to take into consideration one thing. The question to be considered is whether we should have specialists in the city hospital only or whether we should have them in the district headquarters hospitals and taluk headquarters hospitals also. Many committees have pointed out that in our country, taking into account the resources and the size of the population, it will be impossible to put up buildings and provide the materials which would be required for this purpose. In view of this, I request that a policy decision may be taken to replace most of these vehicles in order that mobility may be assured to our health team. The second point is this. I agree that it is necessary to give protected water supply to a number of municipalities, but at the same time, there have been complaints about breeding of mosquitoes which are causing malaria. We are very much worried about it. I know that we are spending a large sum of money on the malaria eradication program, but in spite of it, it cannot be controlled unless when we carry out the program, we also provide sewerage facilities. It is not sufficient if we provide protected water supply. There is a stagnation of water, and on account of that, there is a breeding of mosquitoes. I plead that the government should have a plan to provide sewerage system along with protected water supply system. Then reference has been made to the inspection of school children. Many voluntary organizations are also taking up the inspection of school children, but we are not giving cards to the children who are inspected in this manner in our schools. I think that we should work out a health card in consultation with the Directorate of Public Health and see that such cards are issued to the children who have to be inspected in our school.